And tomorrow, if you're in the country, you know that there would be a mass demonstration by the Labour Front, and it's their legitimate right, even though currently they are being talked to postpone it since it falls on the same day as the late president. And there have been several demonstrations across the country. Now, ahead of that, the big one to be organized by Labour and TUC is coming on tomorrow. But what could be the implication on governance and the general well-being of the economy? Now, currently we've been joined in the studio by Dr. Eric Odro Osai, who is a local governance expert. Good afternoon to you, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon, my sister.
Right. Can we even begin to put in terms of monetary terms, the effect of having Labour say we're not working for today, just for a day? Can we just begin to put our brains around it? How much in terms of cost?
Thank you very much. I think it's somebody would say it's very expensive to have all organized Labour saying that they are not working in a day, and it has a negative effect on productivity, and if we don't manage it well, it is likely to further deepen what we are experiencing in this country. I don't lay the blame on the doorstep of only government, but we have Ghana Employees Association also there. I would advise that government and Ghana Employees Association try their possible best to see the way out of this situation, because we cannot afford as a nation to have organized labor not working or even within 1 hour. You can imagine the level of productivity that we are losing tomorrow if we allow this to happen.
All right. The frequency of it is what baffles every Ghanaian. Right. Let me just give an example. POTAG, they've been on strike for 3 months. Yesterday and this morning I heard them say that indeed the talks look good, and if everything goes well, they'll go back to the class. They're agitating over recession book allowance.
That's right.
How do we then fashion it? The frequency of it, how do we go about?
Yeah, I think in this case, the government, being the largest employer in this country, should develop a strategy of managing this particular issue, because it can make the government unpopular. It can also scare off investors. It can also lead to a loss of productivity. Above all, it doesn't send a good signal about the governance system of the country. So government should set up a high-powered team. This management of industrial strikes should not be the responsibility of only the Ministry of Employment and Labour Relations. It cuts across a number of sectors. So then you have to get the Minister of Finance involved, you have to get the Ghana Employees Association involved, you have to get even the leadership of the organized labour involved. And there is one thing that we haven't been able to do as a country. The Labour Act requires the establishment of a regional tripartite committee and then a district tripartite committee.
But I know they have the tripartite committee, maybe not at the regional level and the district level, but with what we have, the discussion always seems to get out of hand.
Yeah, my sister, you see, if you have a national tripartite committee that is talking to the leadership at the national level, you also need the regional tripartite committee to talk to the people at the regional level, and you need the district tripartite committee to also talk to them at the district level. In that case, you are talking at various levels, so the possibility of making a headway is very high. But then if you only engage the leadership, and the leadership eventually have to come to the regional level to brief the people, information, once it moves from 2-3 people, is diluted. So what I'm calling on government and all other agencies to do is to fully implement the Labour Act, which requires the establishment of a regional tripartite committee and a district tripartite committee, so that when it comes to engagement with labour, you engage them at all fronts, the national level, the regional level, and the district level. In that case, you can tone down the agitations and you can talk to people for them to understand it, because the leadership are being pushed by their followers. These followers are the district and the regional level. So you can't engage with our leaders only and leave us at the regional and district levels.
All right. The other arguments that another school of thought pushes is that government never gets those days back. At the end of the month, you pay lecturers, you may not have paid their allowances, they go on strike. Those days students lose. They don't get it back. How about if they remain in the classroom while negotiations continue? How about that approach?
I think before striking is the last resort. So before you get an employee going out to strike, it means they've exhausted all the avenues you've mentioned. And that is the price, for instance, I think government and Ghana Employees Association would have to pay for not acting fast. So I would advise that in order to prevent government and employers from paying this price, they should act fast. They should be proactive. They shouldn't wait for the thing to get escalated. For instance, what is going to happen tomorrow? It could have been avoided.